Hi, I'm Gareth, and this is a Smart Ultra 7 from Vodafone. So this is the Vodafone Smart Ultra 7, or at least this is the box of the Vodafone Smart Ultra 7. We're going to have a quick look at the innards and see what the actual device is like. It has been out for a while, but we're just having a bit of a refresh to see what it looks like. There's the device on top there, we'll come back to that later. We pull out the nice chocolatey box and see what's inside. So in the packaging we get a micro USB cable, a charger with a European adapter on the end of it, not terribly handy, and a pair of headphones. Which is novel because we don't see many headphones going with phones that much of anymore, and they look to be quite decent. They are in-ear noise cancelling headphones, no brand on them, they're not Vodafone branded, and they've got an inline controls with one button, so no volume, and then a 3-pole headphone jack at the bottom. Nice deal. Then the device itself. So we'll take this off, which has been nastily stuck back on and covered in wood shavings, and we'll give that a bit of a clean. Now we've just finished looking at the Vodafone Smart Platinum 7, which sort of almost took my breath away, and this has a number of different design flourishes that come from the Platinum 7, mixed in with some budgetary limitations, shall we say. So looking at the front of the device, we have a 5.5 inch 1080p display on the front here, and there's a 5.5, no wait, what am I talking about? A 5 megapixel camera with an LED flash on the front, which is kind of novel, although that seems to be becoming more and more standard for the old selfies, but you can very much see the LED flash there, and it's nice to see. We have a button at the bottom there, which is a proper clicky tactile button. On the very bottom we have a speaker with a micro USB connector here and a microphone hole there. There's also a small lip to be able to prise the back off here as well, which is something we don't see very often, so I'm guessing it's got a removable battery inside. Up the side we have the nice textured buttons that are going to be easy to find if required. We've got a power button and then a volume rocker. On the top, okay, we have a microphone hole and a 3.5mm headphone port, and nothing down this side, just a nice line. It actually looks quite sweet. It is, well, I suppose it's metallic plastic feel. Excuse me, I'm sneezing at the moment. Then on the back we have the camera optics, which look very much like the Platinum, with the specifications of it written around the outside of it, where we have 13 megapixels, HDR, f-stop 2.0, PDAF, and there's a LED flash there as well, and we have the Vodafone branding at the bottom, designed by Vodafone, not designed by Alcatel, and then this nice back cover as well. So yeah, it looks quite well. Obviously we have an ear speaker here, which I'm hoping works as a stereo speaker with this one at the bottom, but I guess only time will tell. We'll rip this off and have a look at the innards, because it's so rare that we get to do that these days. It is obviously just a plastic cover. We do not have a removable battery. That is such a shame. I guess there are ways around removing these batteries. As long as you can get into the back, then there's a good chance, but battery is non-removable. And we have the micro USB, no, we have the micro SD that goes in here, and then the SIM card as well. Other than that, there's no reason to take the back off. Okay, so we'll turn her on and I'll give you a quick rundown of the specifications. It's an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen, which is 16 million colours. It's 1080 by 1920 pixels, So a decent screen resolution there. It should run Android 6.0.1. We'd love to see Nougat on this, but it's probably unlikely at this moment in time. The chipset is a Mediatek MT6755M, which is an octa-core. That's 4 times 1 GHz quad core, and then a 4 times 1.8 GHz processor. There's 2 GB of RAM on board and 16 GB of storage. I'm keeping it all the way back here because this microphone doesn't like modems in phones. So I can see here that we're tuning into 2 different Wi-Fi networks. It's picking up the 2.4 GHz network, but not the 5 GHz network. So we'll connect to that. So now checking for some software updates, and I'll turn the phone off as soon as possible so I can bring it closer to the camera. I was asking for a pin lock. I was actually thinking, where's the fingerprint scanner, but this obviously doesn't have one. Okay, so we're in and we're setting up Vodafone. We're connecting to the network right now, and it's downloading all its apps and setting up apps and infrastructure and customization, that sort of thing. I guess it's worth mentioning whilst it's doing this that the battery is 2,960 milliamp. So that's downloading everything off Wi-Fi. I can't turn the phone off just yet. Okay, that's interesting. There we have we have capacitive buttons here. I noticed that this has a slash on it, or a hyphen or whatever. It's odd that this actually has a button on it, but we'll turn off. Okay, so that's us on to flight mode. We'll have a quick look around the device and see what we can see. First up, we'll do the camera. Well, we don't need tips or suggestions on how to use a camera. So it looks fairly stockish. We'll get some pictures of, oh look, there we go. And it was quite a fast response there, although having set this up, it's really warm here. But obviously that's quite an intense experience for the phone, is setting everything up, and it's got a slower processor, so it's having to work harder. We have our Vodafone stuff included as well. I haven't set up the Google information just yet, so we don't get any of that Google goodness right now. If we go into our settings, we can have a look and see what the setup of the phone is. We'll look at our storage. We have 10 gigabytes available. There's 481 megabytes used, probably by Vodafone, and then you've got system memory is 3.5 gigabytes used, so it's a 16 gigabyte phone. Holding things down, we get into Google now. And things do seem to be quite nippy, but obviously we've just set it up. So what do we have on board? We have accessories, which is the link to the Vodafone store where you can buy accessories for your device, usually the HTC M8. There is the calculator, the calendar, Calls Plus for using the Vodafone exclusive calling thing, which sounds quite good. Camera, Chrome, clock, contacts, all standard, docs, download, drive, email client, which is obviously added in by either the original manufacturer or Vodafone. File manager, gallery, which is always nice to see. Gmail, Google, Google Plus, Hangouts, Maps, Message Plus, which is different to the messaging app, which has the rich SMS. My Vodafone, which takes you to your account information and billing information. News, weather, notes, Outlook installed by default. Phone, photos, playbooks, play movies, radio was there, so it's got an FM transmitter inside, or an FM receiver, sorry. Settings, sheets, slides, sound recorder, the start function. There's 2 start functions, that's a bit odd. Tips, Vodafone, or video player, and Vodafone wallet. I don't think I've seen that before. You can purchase things, mobile network connection. Okay, we'll have a look at that for the review, and then if we hit start, does it do anything? Having flight mode turned on isn't probably the most useful thing in the world here. I'll try the other start. Oh, that must be the setup. Yeah, to get you into the device. So that I skipped out of that quite quickly. Enter your Vodafone ID. It's interesting that there's two start applications on here. That must just be a slight oversight or a duplication or something. And once online, Vodafone will probably sort that out. So yeah, there's tons in here to play with. And we'll go away, give it a review, and it should be up in the next 2 weeks on techaddicts.uk. Any questions that you might have about this device, let me know in below, and I'll be sure to address them. Hit the subscribe button, and take care.